If you own a 2003 to 2006 or '07 Classic Chevy or GMC SUV, Silverados, Sierras, Yukons, Tahoes, Suburbans, Avalanches, and even the Cadillac Escalades, and your oil pressure pegs all the way to 80 psi when you just turn the vehicle on and not even start it, then you probably are going to want to stay and watch the rest of this video, because the fix I'm going to show you will probably help you out. What that culprit might be is your oil pressure sending unit. Now, this is me under the hood of my truck, and I was sitting on top of the radiator support because your oil pressure sending unit is all the way in the back valley of your engine behind your intake manifold, because that's where obviously the oil pump is located. Usually when your oil pressure gauge max out at 80 psi, or sometimes it doesn't read any oil pressure at all, and your engine's not even running, well, that was my case because my engine wasn't even running and it pegs all the way to 80. More likely than not, that's probably your culprit. And what I'm going to do now, this is me climbing up into under the hood of my truck, is reach my big fat hand back in there. Ugh! Sorry, this is quite tedious to do. Reach back there and unplug that harness. Then put a ratchet in there to get that oil pressure sending unit loose. Now, usually what most people like to do is get this wiring in the fuel pumps out of the way, or the fuel lines, excuse me, out of the way, but I got no time for that, so I just got to work with what I got. Also, I want to reprime the fuel system, and so I'll just work with what I got. I'll get back to you once I get that harness unplugged and out. All right, while I was off camera, I managed to take the old oil pressure sending unit out. Usually what happens is when this little plastic housing back here breaks, it will actually throw the reading off. In my case, that was the case because it was throwing the oil pressure way past 80 psi when the engine wasn't even running. So I'm going to put this guy back in its place. For whatever reason, the way this generic replacement was designed, unfortunately this is not an original AC Delco replacement. This is what I got from O'Reilly's, and which I always like using O'Reilly parts. So what I'm going to do is thread this into the back of the engine, and then when I feel it tightening up, I'll go back in with my socket and tighten it down the rest of the way until you hear this crush washer seal. And I'm gonna have to start the engine and hopefully there's no leaks. Okay, while I didn't appear to show everything on camera, what I did was put that brand new oil pressure sending unit on. So how I threaded it in was turn it by hand until I feel it tightening, then go back in with the ratchet and tighten it about a quarter turn. So that way it seats correctly, and hopefully by the time I start the engine there should be no oil leaks. So let's first go ahead and do the first test. Turn the truck on just to see. Alright, no oil pressure when the engine's not even running. So now let's go ahead and start it up, and hopefully we should build oil pressure. Hallelujah. A 40 psi. That's pretty good. Now the only thing left to do is take this thing on a drive and see how well this oil pressure holds. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope this fixes your problem. This will work for any Chevy 4.8s, 5.3s, and the 6 liters. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit a like, and be sure and comment and subscribe while you're at it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Sounds pretty good. No leaks. That's a good sign. Nothing down here. I say this repair was a success. Getting pretty tongue-tied here. Now I just got to put that engine cover back on, and everything should be good to go.